Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another recording of the Silver Screen Shenanigans podcast, where we sit down, watch a movie, and give our own goofy takes. My name is Devin, and my favorite Halloween character, it's a super tough one because it's like the amount of range that you think about when you're talking about Halloween or scary characters. It's so wild, but I think the scariest one to me, or at least, definitely the scariest one to me has got to be Jason Voorhees, which, I don't know, we might watch some of those later, but who knows. There's a remake, I think, sometime in the 2000s, but like he runs in that one, and so just imagine this football-sized hockey-masked guy with an axe just full sprint at you at the dead of night. I'm like, nah. So that movie, I think made an impact on me, where it legit scared me. So I've always been a fan of Jason.
My name's Jacob. I said in the first episode that we ever did was The Collector was the movie that kind of hit home for me, that kind of kept with me through all these years. You should definitely listen to the age ratings on those videos. I was a kid when I watched this movie, and it scarred me pretty bad. This guy had a leather mask. He had shoelaces that tied the back of it. He had a glowing eye, and he tortured people. It was
Goodness.
It was a gory movie. And
Oh my god!
Oh my lord!
and the point of the movie is he's a collector. He collects bugs. He collects everything, but also humans. And one of the
No,
things.
thank you.
The reason why it stuck with me because he burned people, took off flesh and acid and stuff. The one that stuck with you the most, he hung the dude up in the basement, the protagonist, by fish hooks from his arms all the way down his back.
No.
And that stuck with me. So that's probably the scariest one.
That would stick with me too.
I know.
I'm glad I've never seen it.
It should be added to our list, I'm just saying.
Hi, I'm Riley, and I think the horror movie villain that stuck with me the most, I guess, has to be Pennywise. I've never seen the It movies, but clowns are creepy.
Mm-hmm.
So, a clown that eats people, right? I don't know. I actually know what he does. I've never seen the movie.
Yeah.
Creepy. Very creepy. I'm very uncomfortable around clowns just because of that. So that is truly stuck with me.
Yeah, that was my answer too, Riley.
Sounds like you're just copying me.
No, yeah, Pennywise is very creepy, but also in Hereditary, the little girl, she had a very,
Is
very
she
creepy.
really the indie? Is she the bad person?
I don't know if
or
she's
is
the
the
bad
grandma
person.
the bad one?
Wait, who got reincarnated? That's the whole point of it, right?
Pazuzu.
Yeah, who got
No, it's
reincarnated?
not Pazuzu. That's
No.
in Ghostbusters.
I don't know, but
It was like a giant cult. It was just
Yeah.
trying to get this one girl to do something. Or no, it was trying to get the brother.
It was
the
trying to
entire
get the
time.
brother to be the king because the demon will only go take the body of a dude.
yeah.
Yeah,
So
it
is
was
that
weird.
why they're all headless at the end?
Yes.
I don't know.
But the little girl was so creepy. I mean, she didn't really talk.
She just
Yeah.
Yeah, not my favorite. That's
not a fan of her either.
No.
no.
very creepy.
Yeah.
All right.
So we got Halloween 2.
Yeah, I don't know.
2018
I couldn't think of
film.
I couldn't think of a good segue, but yeah, Halloween.
Yeah,
2.
Halloween 2, 2018 film.
Directed by David Green. Prominent actors. Gladly returning Jamie Lee Curtis, who by this point is a very seasoned actor. She was super famous. She had actually tried to revamp the series before with Halloween H2O, but we don't talk about that one.
What?
Yeah, it's called
Yeah.
H2O.
It's like
Doesn't she
water.
have really? Doesn't
Is that
It's
deal with
Halloween,
water?
but with water. It's
Hallow-
raining. Is it raining that
It's like
time?
20 years. Halloween 20 years later.
Oh, 20.
Doesn't she have
Oh.
black hair in that one? I think
She has short hair.
Oh,
It's like she
has
cut
really,
it
really dark
super
hair.
dead, and she's like a drunk. Which I mean, same in this one.
Yeah.
But
Pretty much.
True.
those fizzled out too. And then in 2018, she tries again. Joining her is another very solid actor in Judy Greer. She's been in a bunch of different TV shows, and also Jurassic World. She was like the mom for. She didn't have a big part in that one, but
She's a terrible mother in that movie.
Horrible. You
Don't
send your kids
to a dinosaur island.
Um,
Awful.
this is a kind of a horror supernatural thriller. And basically the plot synopsis kind of goes like, it's been 40 years since Laurie Strode survived the vicious attack from the crazed killer known as Michael Myers in Haddonfield that fateful Halloween night. Locked up in an institution, Myers once again manages to escape during his transfer when the trip goes horribly wrong. Laurie now faces a terrifying showdown with the masked madman. But this time, she's ready.
Very ready.
She has been training for this. Like it's.
She's a total BA
Oh,
in
yeah.
this movie.
Badass.
She is
100%.
awesome. Totally.
Definitely.
I mean, when she's just out there in the shooting range and she's clicking every gun, she's reloading.
It
really
opens.
quick.
It opens, doesn't it, with her out at the shooting range, or is that later?
No, I think that's later.
Yeah,
I
it's
not
later. It's
remember.
after the bus scene.
It
It opens up with the podcasters.
Mm-hmm.
The
Right.
podcasters do.
But
Stupid podcaster. Wait.
the first time that we
Wait a
see
minute.
her, she's opening the island in the kitchen, which moves to an underground basement
Mhm.
for protection.
Okay. So, should we talk about the podcasters?
Yeah, no. So that's kind of the opening. You kind of open on these two goofs who are, they call themselves journalists. They're podcasters. They are
One of them calls themselves a journalist.
So you kind of get the sense that they're a little full of themselves. But it reminded me of real life when like true crime podcasters or interviewers don't really care about the people in the story. They just want to get the story and get it out there. So they're super insensitive to like the people who went through a traumatic event, and they just kind of all they want is the story, and they don't really care about the person behind it.
I mean, that goes for everybody.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, just very, very pushy.
I mean, you see that a lot of times in like news and everything.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
like, oh, you lost your house to this hurricane. Tell me about it.
Tell me.
They stick the
Right,
microphone in your face.
right.
Tell me exactly how did it happen.
How do you feel about it? How do you think I feel?
So you lost everything, you say, yes? Everything? Let's be honest. Everything, though?
What I liked about this movie, they didn't change their attitude based on who they're interviewing, right? So
Yeah.
like from Michael to Laura, right?
Lori, yeah.
Yeah, Laurie. They were both pushy. Even the guy, the killer, they were trying to piss him off just to get a reaction out of him.
Yeah, they don't believe, which, later cost them. They just think he's a dude. And, like, you get that sense when they say, when she asked him, do you believe in the boogeyman? And he's like, I believe that, it was Michael Myers. I believe he was a person. And he, later regrets.
That's a mistake that you should never have made.
Because
Oh, he's just a guy,
we know that the boogeyman is very real. Then a little bit later, we get to the new doctor. Laurie later in the movie calls him the new Loomis, so I just call him Dr. Noomis because I couldn't remember his name, which I mean he's okay, but he's not that important.
I mean, he's kind of important. He
Kind of,
definitely
little
is
bit.
the one who broke him out.
We don't know that for sure.
We do. Are you kidding me? He's sitting in the bus when all these crazy people go, and then he just stays there.
I believe it's Dr. Sartain.
Sartain, yeah.
Dr. Sartain. So, all right, can we talk about the bus scene?
Bus scene.
So,
Sure.
the bus crashes, and then it opens up on a father and son driving. They're going hunting. I assume it'd be early morning.
We kind of skipped a little far ahead, but
A little bit.
Oh no! How far? Like an hour?
No, probably like half an hour.
so like
It's
the
another
next
slow
sort of
movie.
thing that happens is the doctor talks about Michael. He never getting to see him in the
right.
wild,
Yeah, sorry.
and that
We're
he's
talking about the
pure evil.
podcasters, Yeah.
In the wild. So like he I think what you're alluding to, though, is true. It's a little bit, I think it's when you read between the lines a little bit, it's set up here. He says he never got to see Michael in the wild.
He was jealous of Loomis because Loomis did get to see Michael performing.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
and in the wild, it makes me think of a predator. Like, they still don't think of him as a man. They still think of him as a monster and evil.
As a thing.
And as we talked about in the first podcast, like about ages. So Michael is at least, well, it has to be 21 when he in the first movie.
So now he's
So
like
this is 40
60.
years. This is 40 years later, so he's 60 some, which
Does not show at all.
It doesn't matter because like it's just an appearance to the outside.
Besides gray hair, he did have gray hair.
He did.
Yes, he had gray hair and a white eye.
Yes.
And white scruff too.
And then again, the music shows up with the Halloween theme. Also, this movie, again, wouldn't be near as good like the first one if it wasn't for the music, because the original Halloween theme plays at the perfect time, I think, in this one.
And the
and also-
pumpkin reanimates.
Yes, they got it right
Yeah.
this time.
They
got it
did
right.
the pumpkin correctly this
You can
time.
see Michael in the, and also how the movie is shot is there's this one long shot that I definitely recommend.
Like if you're not gonna watch the whole movie, at
Just
least
watch
the
this one
long
shot. Because it's everybody in the perfect place. It's all set up perfectly, and
It's at least like 3 minutes
oh yeah,
of a full shot.
and it's a lot of people.
And there's a lot of stuff that goes down.
Mhm. Like I believe,
He at least goes through 3 houses.
yeah,
Yep.
runs into some kids, goes to 3 houses, and meanwhile, while it's all these happening, all these extras are in the background doing their doing
Extra
their own
business.
thing. Yeah.
How much do extras get paid?
Probably a little.
Like probably not even a quarter of what the main actors get.
Oh yeah, no.
I mean, main actors get like hundreds of thousands. So if they get like a quarter of that,
I'm guessing
that's
like
still a pretty good paycheck
couple
just to be
thousand.
in the background.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind it.
I would say around 20,000.
we should look this
I
up.
could use $20,000.
It's life changing for you and I.
Oh, absolutely. It's life maintaining for others.
And I think the next part we get on, it kind of does seem like we're jumping around from scene to scene, but I think how this movie is cut, it does kind of jump from
It's very sharp
each
jumps.
each person's kind of thing going on, which in some movies it would be a little confusing, but I think in this one it kind of works because we know who we're here to see. We're here to see
Right.
Laurie and Michael. And also they kind of have to introduce us to the family, Laurie's family. So there's scenes
Because
for that.
40 years have passed, so
Right.
stuff has gone down, but we haven't seen it yet.
So there's
So-
in the beginning I can forgive this kind of jumpy editing, I guess.
But then they have hard cuts,
Yeah,
which is a loud noise, and then a cut,
yeah.
which I don't like.
You don't
Because
like
it's very loud. Like one of them was she like slams a book down, and then it cuts to a different scene.
Mhm.
Like you could have just cut. You don't have to slam anything.
And again, when the friends are like walking around in the beginning, I actually don't mind these friends this time. They're kind of goofy. Like when they blow up the pumpkin, like I thought that scene was kind of fun.
Yeah,
Like I don't hate
it's-
I don't
it's
hate
the-
her friends.
It's the cliche of like
the pothead.
the
like,
pothead, the idiots. Yeah, just not smart friends.
Back to that extras, how much they make. This says they make about $50 per hour. They usually get paid for a full day, even if they work half of a day.
50 an hour.
Yeah,
You gotta think about the cost of living out there, though. That is like
Yeah.
nothing.
true. It depends on where it's at.
Get a
'cause
hotel.
This
Get a
also
hotel.
says-
Live in a hotel.
right.
50 an hour. That's like 1 day an hour. Like 1 day of living in a $50 hotel an hour.
And you don't even have to. You don't have to try out for the part. Extras don't have to try out.
Show up.
I'm moving to California,
just
guys.
like show
Bad
up,
idea.
Bad idea.
show up, and don't mess up.
I will catch y'all later.
Evan, if you don't mind, I want to jump back to like one of the first scenes, right, with the podcasters.
Okay.
I think we skipped over a very important scene. What happened
Yeah,
there?
yeah, sorry.
The mask.
Oh, the mask. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, true. Like Michael doesn't have his mask. When these podcasters show up to interview both Lori and Michael, they go to Michael first, and they go to the mental hospital. Okay.
Yeah, we got the audio for that. You want to listen to that?
Right.
Okay.
You feel it, don't you, Michael? You feel the mask. Say something, Michael. Say something. You can feel it, can't you? It's a part of you, Michael. It's a part of you. Say something. Say something, Michael.
So this scene takes back in the mental hospital. Like we said before, the podcaster's trying to visit with Michael.
Yeah.
And so the scene sets in the courtyard where they can get sun and whatnot. And there's like red and white checkerboards all throughout.
I
And
thought
he's-
they were playing chess for a second.
with the prisoners.
Oh, yeah. Knight to G3.
Human chess.
Yeah.
But they're all chained up to these blocks. And then within the block, there's like about 9 squares, big square, of a yellow line, which you cannot cross because that's the length of the chain that can grab you past that line. But what I like to point out about this scene is, like we said earlier, he's trying to aggravate this serial killer just to get a reaction from him.
That's probably not a good idea.
He's very clearly not understanding who he is interviewing.
No, not at all. He's just getting
You
this
can
way.
feel it. I know you can.
Right.
Look at this.
So all
It's
those,
yours.
all the screaming and the yelling, those were all other prisoners. Michael never said a single word. He was faced back, couldn't see his face.
It's kind of. It was kind of like they sensed.
They
that
sensed it.
He had a murderous intent.
Yeah, something. But they were holding up the mask behind his head.
The
he
police
just stood there.
officer's dog was freaking out. So there's something in the air.
Which we talked about the first movie. There's really no themes, but one thing we keep talking about is like the embodiment of evil kind of thing, which everybody and Michael did react a little bit. He kind of turned a little bit to kind of like
He sensed that the
he
mask
sensed
was
the
in his
mask.
bag.
which even kind of embodies the whole
That is
like
so scary.
psychic and paranormal part of this, where he can sense the mask because he's pure evil. That mask is a part of him, and that's the evil part of him.
It's like, yeah, it's a part of his costume.
So like that's a big thing to focus on here, is that he senses the mask, and it's almost pure evil that everybody else around can sense it as well. And then
Yeah.
it moves into
It's
them.
And then we go over to
well,
the-
we get a little. Yeah, we kind of catch up with like the Strode family, what Lori's been up to for the last 40 years. And she gives a very good opening scene of basically telling these podcasters, look, you don't know what you're messing with. And if you think you don't believe, it's a big mistake. And then they ask like super personal questions.
So what happened with your daughter, ma'am? She was taken away. That's the whole story.
But you knew that.
You already knew that.
Yeah, but
And-
Why ask questions that you already know?
She understandably gets pissed and kicks them out, but takes the like $3,000.
Yeah, they were like, we have $3,000. Can we interview you? All they did was piss her off and then give her
Right.
$3,000.
And we see right after that, her cleaning her guns and whatnot, that it's like the event that night on Halloween so long ago happened yesterday. She's been training for 40 years
I almost
just
think she
being ready.
hopes that he breaks out so she
oh,
can
Oh,
just
she
totally.
100%
She
does.
she wants him
There's a
to come to her.
later line, right, where she says she prayed every night that he broke out,
That's right, yeah.
so
Yeah.
she can kill him.
That was a dumb thing to pray for.
That's what, that's what
What the
sheriff
cops, the
says.
sheriff says.
Hawkins, why would you pray something like that?
Who was it? It's later in the movie, but somebody's like, what we need to do is we need to end his life within an hour. We need to burn his body, get rid of him.
It's a recording of Loomis,
Of Loomis, okay.
and he says, it needs to die. So, and I guess this movie does explain to us what happens directly after the first movie. So right after the first movie, as Michael, if you don't remember, Michael is shot by Loomis, falls off a balcony, and runs away.
He's shot 6 times.
Apparently, as Michael is running away, Officer Hawkins apprehends him, somehow arrests Michael, puts him in the car, and does not let Loomis finish the job by killing Michael, which later Hawkins says he regrets. And then
I would
since
too.
then, yeah. And since then, Lori, Hawkins, and Michael have all kind of in a way been waiting for this to happen.
Well, somebody said that he lives to get the one that got away, and she lives to get the one that almost got her.
Yeah,
Like, they are the reason that both of them are still alive.
I think it was the new doctor.
Yeah.
He's curious about
What will happen?
what keeps them alive, each other. Either Michael's need to kill her or her need to kill him.
That I want to like dive into that a little bit more because like that keeps feeding into the spiritual thing that he's not a human at all. So they keep calling him it. He's only alive. And the only thing keeping him alive after all these injuries he's taken throughout the movie and the movie in the past is this urge to kill her. That's the only thing keeping him alive. Like theoretically, right? They don't actually know. But
It's possible because he just hasn't done it yet. I mean, yeah, he could kill Lori and then he could just die himself, but who knows?
And then also the mask, right? The evil that comes along with it. But I also think it's another thing where we don't really see his face at all in this movie. We see his eye, right? Just to kind of show continuity between the first movie.
Yeah, really good. Like in the mask itself, there's a hole where he got stabbed in the first one. Yeah, and speaking of the mask real quickly itself, it looks really good compared to like the couple of masks in the other sequels that look like hot garbage. This one looks like it's 40 years old. It's wrinkly, it's dirty, it's torn. The hair is kind of
Squished and, and out of place.
and they get it. Thank goodness they get it right. They make the eye holes like completely dark because in some of the other movies you can see his eyes, which is
Not supposed to happen.
bad idea.
He's supposed to have black eyes.
Yeah.
And
But after you see Lori and a little bit of her family, her daughter and then her granddaughter, it then moves to transporting him on Halloween night like they did.
Yeah. That's just not a smart idea.
I think it's the night before.
Night
Night before.
Right. The night before he's getting
Why
transported.
would you risk it? Why would you?
Why would you
If he
transport
gets
him?
out, he's going to do it again on Halloween.
So I think the whole thing was when we were watching it. I think you guys are both kind of right. Either they like ran out of funding to like hold him there, or they want to put him somewhere that there's no possible way he can ever get out
I think
again.
that's what they were moving him to a place where he would never be able to see the light of day again.
but why the day before Halloween? Honestly, bro,
It's a horror
anywhere,
movie.
July, like March, like St. Patty's Day, something else besides Halloween.
St. Patty's Day.
Movies are gonna have a lot of coincidences, and without coincidences, the movie doesn't happen.
Yeah.
I know.
It doesn't
but-
make sense. But yeah, so obviously he escapes along with all of the other prisoners or
Yeah.
mental.
The thing is, the sheriff, I don't know who it is, the deputy, somebody points out that everybody else on the entire list is just minor offenders.
Yeah.
And then he was
One
on
guy
Michael.
that killed 5 people and the babysitter murder.
Yeah,
and
but why would you put him on that? Like, I guess maybe because he's like the big guy that everybody should be looking out for. and they didn't look out for him. They just didn't do it.
So it makes me it makes me think you're right, Riley, that this doctor, because we saw he had the scalpel, right?
Yeah.
The stabby.
He had a pin.
The
It was
stabby spin.
actually a scalpel.
It makes me think you're right, that security for Michael, I think they would have taken more precaution, and I think something outside of the cops, like forces,
Had to have
let
done
Michael
something.
get free.
I think I just realized, right? This we all suspected the doctor helped get him out, right?
Mhm.
Right.
But I don't know if you remember the beginning of the movie. He was downplaying the dangerousness of Michael the whole time,
Oh, absolutely.
which is why I think he's on that bus, talking about how he's not this insane. He has his thoughts. He can talk, but he just won't, right? And he doesn't have any anger in his body.
I don't think, the doctor doesn't believe either.
No, I think he does. I think he was downplaying the situation to allow him to
get on the bus.
So that he
Oh.
could see it in real life.
Yeah, I think that's what.
No,
was
nobody
happening.
there's only two characters that ever
I don't like the doctor.
understand Michael. It's Loomis, who unfortunately isn't in this movie because the actor himself passed away. And Lori. Lori's the only other one that understands what Michael is all about.
Yeah, no
Well,
one
and
wants
the
to
arresting
listen.
officer as well too.
Oh, and Hawkins, yeah,
Yeah.
right.
Yeah, he
Hawkins.
knows.
Yeah.
He knew.
He
Right.
knew.
So then a son and a dad, they're on a hunting trip.
Right.
Yes.
They
so
become a part of this bus, and
son and dad go, and the
And
father.
also, sorry, real quick, I also like every side character in this has a story going on.
Yes. This son, he wants to dance
He
instead
wants
of
to
go
dance.
hunting.
He wants to dance, and his dad's like, "No, we're gonna
Little
go
do
hunt."
we know, he was the main character of Footloose.
No, no.
Michael killed him. But this leads to one of the first of, I think, I think that scene where they showed him the mask is pretty tense, how it builds to the
Yes.
theme song. But this is the second, I think, really perfectly executed tense scene in this movie where this kid is walking around with a gun and seeing just all these bodies just
And
all over the place.
Crazy people running around.
And like these people are killed in super messed up ways. Like this dude's neck is broken so far backwards that
Oh
you
my
see
gosh.
like
his
I don't know,
Adam's
whatever
apple.
that is.
his
It's
Adam's
yeah,
apple was
Adam's
sticking
like
out of his
sticking
throat.
out.
I think the kid doesn't
Gore.
see it. It's for sure shown when the sheriff shows up.
This
I don't
movie had lots of gore. in it.
very,
Oh,
very
yeah.
gory. The
Oh,
kills
yeah.
were way more intense
Probably.
for sure.
And that I think that's definitely because it's a lot later. People are like, well, if it's a horror movie, it's got to be gory, right?
Yeah.
Well,
Right.
not necessarily.
So the kid's smart. He calls the cops first. He calls the cops, and then they're like, well, is anybody still alive in there? And he's like, I don't know. I'll go check. And he leaves his phone.
Leaves the phone.
He leaves his phone in the car and then goes out and checks.
He gets out of the truck when there are
But he does have a gun.
He does
right,
have a gun.
but there's
So-
just prisoners
There's a-
and mentally ill people walking around.
And also
I'm
he-
not getting out of a truck at that
Right.
point.
He also is a kid, and
Right.
kids know
Right.
nothing.
His dad left
There's
first.
also his dad's out there, and
That's
he wants
true.
he wants to
Wanted
find
to
his
go.
dad.
But can we talk about
He gets,
when he gets on the bus?
gets on the bus.
He gets on the bus,
So
and I just want to share real
it
quick.
is very tense.
When I watched this in the theater, I laughed out loud, and people in the theater definitely thought I was a psychopath because the kid gets on the bus and he's like, hello, hello, and the doctor,
Dr. Noomis.
Dr. Noomis pops out and says, "Don't shoot." The kid immediately shoots him in the shoulder, and I thought it was so funny because he's like, "Don't shoot!" Bam.
Well, I think it's the doctor's fault. Like, you don't scare a guy with a gun, right?
Yeah,
We
You're
just,
like,
I mean-
hey, I'm here, and then slowly come out, not just boom.
Yeah, you say, "I'm here," and then like
you say, "Don't shoot, I'm a doctor," and then move your head
he
up.
just
Then you move
popped
your head
up.
away.
Don't shoot.
boom. And then the kid
This
runs
kid
away,
This kid is freaking out at this
running
point.
away, pissing his pants. Definitely,
He
He
just
gets in
shot
the-
a doctor.
he gets in the car, and then just like in the first kill of the first movie, Michael leans up, and this movie's got balls. Michael kills a kid.
they
in this
kill a
movie.
kid.
They kills a kid in this movie.
Almost a baby, but he didn't.
Almost a baby.
Almost a baby.
Almost a baby.
That's the
They
limit.
psyched this out,
They did. He,
Dude.
yeah.
He walks
That's-
towards the baby.
I
and
was
goes,
gonna
nah.
walk out. I was gonna walk out if he killed the baby.
Yeah, I probably would have stopped it. But
Um,
that led the way then to the rest of the killings. And Michael, he was free. He could sense the mask where it was. So
Yeah, which he shows up to the exact gas station.
Which I didn't even think of that. I thought it was just like a Like
luck
just
of the
another
draw.
coincidence that Michael showed up to
Oh.
the exact same store as the podcasters.
There are no
Nah, He
coincidences.
sensed
But-
that mask.
I'm
Definitely.
thinking that's right, that he sensed the mask. And he gets there and it does. I love this movie again for the shots it chooses to take. It's
It showed
fooling you
him-
into like all that's happening. Oh, he's just filling up the gas. What? He's just checking out at the gas. No, look what's going on behind. Michael is beating the crap out of a guy,
Yeah.
killing you in
He's-
the background.
He's beating him
With a mallet.
with a mallet to take his clothes so he could have his jumpsuit back.
And I love that Michael's like, I gotta get. You know what? That first suit was pretty fire. I gotta get the
That was-
exact same
Those were
suit.
some
Right.
cool threads.
But yeah, the podcasters are at this gas station. The mask is in their trunk, and the gal has to go to the bathroom. And I forgot his name, but like her
Oh,
partner. just
Sorry,
starts walking
Michael
around.
steals the car that the kid was in.
Yes.
That's how he gets
Yes,
around.
the
Right.
truck.
Right. But yeah, the gal goes to the bathroom, and this guy needs to go pay for the gas. And as he's walking around, everybody around him is dead in the most gruesome way.
He thinks
So-
this dude is just asleep on
Yeah.
the counter, and to me, it's probably the most gruesome kill.
It's a really,
Oh,
it's
the
a
joke.
really
Michael,
cool.
Absolutely.
Michael takes this guy's face, which we didn't see it, which is
Very
I
cool
love when I
camera
see
angles.
a kill that I don't see what happened. I just see the effect because now you can just imagine what happened. What did Michael do to
Right.
this guy?
Right.
It looks like Michael took this guy's face and just smashed it against a concrete wall. It's just super flat. His jaw is like totally unhinged, and then he just like laid him down on the seat.
I feel like he caught the corner of the table, which then caused his jaw to just.
I'm thinking that's what happened. He smashed it on the table a couple times and then like crushed his head at the table.
And kept the teeth
Kept
in
the
his
teeth.
hand.
Yeah,
Yes.
he did keep the teeth.
He kept
I
a
think.
handful of
He
teeth.
had a handful of teeth and dropped them over the toilet
Stop.
The
stall
Yeah.
And
where the
is
podcast girl
Snooty-
was inside
As
this.
snooty as this girl is, nobody needs to go out like that. She saw bloody teeth. She's crawling away. Michael grabs her. The other podcast dude, busts in the door. He smacks Michael with a crowbar.
Nothing.
Does nothing.
In the face.
Absolutely
In the
nothing.
face. Does nothing.
Absolutely nothing happens.
He grabs him, and Michael. And this is where, because even if you're not watching and if you hear what's going on, it still made me cringe a little bit. But I understand, it's been 40 years.
He's a
Michael's
monster.
pissed. Michael's pissed off, and he's a
making
monster.
up for the lost time.
He takes this guy's face and he pounds it like 10 or 12 times
He
against
beats
this.
it into the door, into
Yeah.
like because she had locked the bathroom stall. So he beats it. He beats the door in with this guy's face.
Yeah, everything shakes, like the entire, and then he just, throws him, and his eyes are open, and he's just like sitting there. So it's possible he's alive, but I don't think so. If he is, he's brain dead.
Oh yeah. No, he witnessed. If he's alive, he witnessed his girlfriend get murdered right in
Is
front
that
of
his
Oh.
girlfriend?
I don't know.
I don't know. They
Wife?
don't really. They don't.
podcast lady mate.
Yeah,
They don't go
the partner. Partner.
Yeah, she gets choked out, and then Michael suits up. He gets his mask, and then it's on,
It's
man.
the road.
It's on.
Can we talk about the change of like the difference between the first movie and now? Like where Jason or not
It
Jason, I
got
keep thinking,
so much faster.
or he's just fragging out.
He's now killed, what, like 10 people
He's
already?
gonna get a nuke. He's gonna get nuclear. Some Call of Duty.
So yeah, I kind of want to keep track. So he kills.
he kills 2 people in the gas station plus the 2 podcasters.
So we're at 4.
Plus,
Plus
the police officers.
The police
I think there's at
officers
least-
outside and the dad
There's
of the child and the child.
There was at least 2 police. There's 2 police officers.
There's at least 3.
The dad and
I'm
the
debating
child.
on 4.
So maybe 10
Maybe
people.
10
maybe
people.
10 people he's already killed.
to
already.
begin with.
To begin, that's
And the
that's a-
movie's like 30, 45 minutes in. He's killed 10 people. I think
It's an hour and 30-minute movie. That's
And
like a third of the way
Michael-
through.
is pissed off. Like it's been a long time, and
He feels like he's rusty, I'd say. Based on what he goes and does next, I'd say he
Missed
feels
out.
rusty.
Last 40 years, he missed out.
he was practicing, like
and
riding
then
the king's
Because if we just stick with him,
the,
the next thing he does
the
is
next morning when Lori hears it on the radio that the bus crashed, she's like, "Yep, told you."
Yeah, she's ready.
So she immediately gets her family, which is a funny scene where she like breaks
she's
into their
waving
house,
a gun around at them and
breaks
like,
into their
Let's
house.
go. Come on, hurry
She
up.
go get some.
Yeah,
But she's hiding upstairs. She left the door open.
you're dead.
Pops down
You're dead.
the stairs and starts like acting like she's.
she has a gun in one hand and she's pretending to shoot them with the other. And I think that's so funny.
Boom,
You're dead.
you're dead.
You're dead. there's also real quick. There's also parallels to the first movie. Like in the first one, where Michael stands out outside the high school, and Laurie sees him. In this one, it's Laurie's granddaughter sees Laurie outside of the high school.
Because
I think
Laurie's
why
like
they-
an estranged grandmother.
Mm-hmm. I also think they
mom
did that
doesn't
is
really-
because Laurie and Michael are forever connected.
Yeah.
So they're kind of one and the same. So they could take the place of each other.
Well, Laurie, should we talk about Laurie's daughter's childhood?
Oh,
Yes,
right.
Yes.
Let's talk about it. So Laurie trains her
dinner,
daughter.
we get this dinner scene real quick. Of it's kind of a B plot, but like the granddaughter is dating a high school dude, which
Douche.
we find out that he is awesome.
Such a bad guy.
Um,
Just a bad person overall.
but at this dinner scene, we find out that Laurie had a specific way of raising her daughter.
She trained her like an assassin. She had her running in the woods every day, and then she would have her. I think the basement was her room.
No, her room was with the one with the dollhouse and stuff in there. That was her
Okay.
room.
Okay. So there was just another bed downstairs, though. So I think if she was bad, she probably got put down there.
Probably. But yeah, no, she learned how to fight a gun, fight,
Learn how to
hold
shoot,
a gun,
shoot guns, run fast,
stab, everything.
stealthy trained,
Build,
tactical.
wire, and activate traps
Oh,
within the house
Mhm.
alone.
Which we find out earlier is she got taken away by child services.
As one would.
I know.
So it's
because
interesting.
You're training your child to murder somebody.
Fair enough. But I think Laurie makes a good point when she says, I think the line goes, if your mother hates me, but she is prepared for the evils of this world, then I can live with that.
Yeah, I like
Not
that.
saying
I like that
not
line.
saying it's totally right, obviously to raise your kid like that, but
Right. I
Laurie's
think
in a
every
very
parent wants their child to be ready.
but Laurie's in a very unique situation where she
She knows
Definitely.
how bad the world can be.
Yeah.
yeah.
And she knows Michael's still alive and
And
could
is
get out
escaped.
at any point.
And
Exactly.
he's pissed.
He's
She knows the
pissed.
potential of him.
So then we get another little recreation. And this takes little nods to every Halloween movie, not even, movies that are in continuity anymore, or canon, I should say, but it still has nods to them. Right before the long shot happens, Michael bumps into the kids again, like in the first one. It gives that little music sting where it's like a little surprise. The three kids are wearing like masks from Halloween 3 Season of the Witch, which is
The one that they tried to actually do what they were going to
a
do.
different story, which failed, which is unfortunate. Because it's always a fan of something new.
What
And
were they? What were the masks? It was a
I think
pumpkin,
pumpkin, skeleton, and like is it a
Witch?
goblin?
Goblin.
Or a witch?
Goblin.
Or so,
It's
yeah,
goblin.
one of those.
so not an onion.
No. And then we get the long shot, which is personally my favorite part of the movie.
He just goes house to house.
Mhm.
You see him walk behind this one house as this lady is, she's
On the
like,
phone.
she's on the phone to begin with, and then on the phone she's talking to her mother about these two people who were found in a gas station killed, which was the podcasters.
And
Right.
she says like,
And she's like,
I'll lock
that's
my door."
awful. I'll lock my doors. Well, she didn't. Let me tell you, she just did not.
She just closed the blinds.
Yeah,
No.
she.
You guys are a step ahead.
What
He
do you
started by walking to the back and grabbing the hammer.
And he kills.
Oh, that
he
was a
kills,
different family
He kills the
first.
older family.
Right.
He kills the older lady,
He
and then he skips the
bashes
baby.
this lady's head in, and then skips the baby, and then goes next door.
Yeah.
Okay, right.
And then it.
So that's another kill,
And that's where he gets the knife.
and then he grabs.
So that's two more
Yes.
kills. So
Yes.
so 12 kills.
He gets the knife from the first house. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
First house.
And then we cut back to kind of the B plot of the movie.
or the,
The kids are at the
granddaughters
party. We're at the party, and then we
Or at
find
the
out.
Halloween night party.
Boyfriend kisses another girl, so super douche, and,
And
then
then-
he
and then
throws
he's
her,
like-
which I really like this because nowadays where you're in the age of technology, everybody has a phone, so
Yeah.
it's like, why didn't they just contact him? Why didn't they just call the police? Blah 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 blah. She had her phone thrown in the cheese.
It was thrown in pudding.
It was cheese
it
or
was
pudding.
cheese.
don't
Was
know.
it cheese? It looked.
It looked pink,
It was
but
yellow.
I think
It was like yellow.
the
No,
light.
I think it
pinky.
was vanilla pudding.
It's sunk
It
into
looked
the
pink.
cheese.
You know
It
what?
was thrown in
I'm
cheese
gonna-
slash pudding.
I'm gonna die on the hill that it was pudding. So
Okay.
This is what's important. Okay, it was cheese.
Pudding.
I didn't see any chips, so it had to have been pudding.
I'm gonna go ahead and fact check this.
All right, sounds good. We'll just keep going.
So
So after that,
like she's not able to call
leaves.
anybody.
Right. She
when-
leaves the party, and then the best friend.
Right. So they're kind of a trio. Like it's the stereotype of the dorky best friend with the cool boyfriend, and then like the
The
chill
dorky best friend
girlfriend
has feelings, and
for the girl, and he tries to make a move, and it's the most cringeworthy scene of all
it's
time.
cricket worthy. It's like, yeah, hey girl, how's it going? Yeah, it's so bad that he did that. Try to kiss.
You're for me now?
But she turns him down, and then he's like, oh well, don't tell him about this, please. We're still friends, right? Like,
He's such a weasel. What's the part?
She did make a phone call before she saw her boyfriend kiss another girl.
she
that
talked.
was-
Yeah,
was
she
to
was
the
talking to
babysitter.
her
That was her
babysitting
friend.
friend.
Friend that was
Oh,
babysitting.
right. So she does have her friend who's babysits the funniest character in the movie.
Just the best character.
It's this little kid who has some of the funniest, like, so her and her best friend are talking about smoking Alakazam.
Alakazam.
Yeah.
Alakazam. Could be
Alakazam.
alcohol or weed.
She's like, he's gonna bring over some Alakazam, and I was like, oh, they're doing blow.
and then this kid goes, I know you're talking about smoking weed.
This kid is so funny.
he's like, no, we're best friends because
He doesn't take crap from anybody.
And he was like, no, I know I'm your best friend because if I wasn't, I wouldn't be staying up clipping my nasty ass toenails.
Yeah.
No, he's so he has like 3 lines and he's the funniest character in the movie.
Easily.
Dude, so good.
And it's another part where I like the side characters, like this babysitter and the kid. It's a sweet little relation.
I
Like
don't like her boyfriend though.
the boy. Oh yeah,
When the
He's the
boyfriend
Dave.
He is the pothehead.
go Dave,
He's
get
the
up.
pothead. Fine, get him, Dave.
So
Yeah, Dave, as Caffrey pointed out, Dave lets Michael in the house.
okay, does he, or is Michael already in the house?
I think so.
So what the thing
So the
is,
kid
it
think-
shows the
door
door
open.
to the kid's
Closet.
closet is open
Like a little bit.
a little bit, and the light's on.
Mhm.
But that could just be his nightlight.
Right.
I don't think Michael was in there at that point.
I don't think so either.
But it was eerie music facing the
Maybe it's alluding that something is there.
something
think
will
so.
happen.
Will be
I think
there.
so.
But then the
Dave shows up,
Dave shows up.
leaves the door open.
Well, once again,
Hey, close your doors. Close your doors.
There could be-
Lock
Lock
your
'em.
There
doors.
could be an invincible murderer on the
do
loose.
not think he let him in because they're standing right by the door. He
Well,
opened.
he goes and
He
smokes
goes
to
to the
Jay in the garage.
motorcycle.
He
But
does
this
go
is
and
the
he
thing.
revs the motorcycle.
The reason why he goes out is because she got called upstairs
Mhm.
because he saw somebody outside of his door.
That's
True.
what
So
I'm,
how does
So he
I'm
was
telling
already-
you.
Michael comes in the house while she's putting him to bed.
I'm
Because
thinking
he goes out while she's putting him to
Oh.
bed.
I'm thinking
he
Michael
goes
comes
upstairs.
in the house before that.
He could have came any time in between. There's
Like
a front
while
door
he's
as
clipping
well.
his nasty ass toenails,
It's true.
Michael is in his room.
And I'm wondering if we missed something in the background, but I feel like we wouldn't. I feel like that
I
would
feel like
be,
he would have made some music when his head, like he popped out.
Yeah, or you could
Either way,
easily see him.
My
somehow,
theory.
Somehow he ends up in this
in like
house.
a 5-minute window, Michael ends up in the house somehow. But yeah, what were you gonna say?
My theory is he walked in front of the door because the door was cracked. And I was saying, when he went downstairs to let them know that he saw somebody in front of his door, like walk past. While he went downstairs, Michael then came into the room and then hid in the closet.
I don't know.
Either way,
Whatever.
he ends up in the
Because
closet.
Yeah.
he said he saw him outside of his door, meaning his bedroom. He couldn't have
then-
been
It could have
both.
he could have seen him in the closet door.
Then
but
Michael
Then
proceeds to
Michael-
kill the babysitter and
the
Dave.
funniest
The
murder
kid got away
scene,
though. The
The kid goes, "Go upstairs, Dave. Get him, Dave."
Go send Dave.
he watches the babysitter being killed, looks at Michael, goes, "Nope," runs downstairs.
Let's just talk about he ran down the stairs first, comes back up to help, and goes, no.
No, he tried.
He looked at it and he was like, "You know what? If I do this, I'm dead too." So
Then-
no,
He thought about it.
Then
he's gonna be a key factor
then
in the
there's
next movie. I
there's
guarantee.
then
hope so.
screams are reported to the police.
Yes.
Which goes on the radio for the police.
And Lori has
and Lori
that
has also
car.
the same radio with the frequency.
Police scanner.
And they both, Hawkins and Lori, both haul it to the house, and
Lori
she
has
sees
a
him.
shotgun.
She has
a revolver.
She has that
Oh, she has. That's right. She has the
because
revolver.
it doesn't jam.
All right, whatever. Yes. So she has a revolver, and she
dude, her face,
shoots.
Dude,
at
she
him.
sees him immediately.
Hits a mirror.
It's a mirror.
Dude,
But she hits him, though.
that was a
She
crazy.
does hit him in the shoulder.
The second time.
No,
That was a
no.
crazy like mind freak.
Oh, yeah,
Was she
yeah.
shot at him, but it was a mirror.
Oh yeah.
What I love in any horror movie is like where they have like misleading
Mhm.
Yes.
images. Like we saw it in The Shining too, like or not misleading, but like you can see Jack Nicholson in the mirror while they're doing another shot. I
Yeah.
love when they do that.
Mirror shots.
Yeah. Basically, he just goes on. He just kills more people.
And then, what's he do?
She shoots him once,
Yeah.
and then he
In the
gets
shoulder.
away.
The
And
awkward. Yeah, so the awkward.
but they're close
scene,
to him now.
then the awkward scene with the boy,
Mhm.
and
And then
he-
Michael finds them, and
he finds the
kills that
granddaughter
kid,
and murders,
the
just
other friend.
absolutely destroys him.
And then this theme starts up again, which I think it's new, but it's incredibly good. It's incredibly unnerving. It's like when he like steps to the side to reveal himself to the granddaughter.
Yeah.
It's like this like guitar riff where it's like, and it's no, not that.
Oh, okay. I've been wrong this entire time. So.
But it's so unnerving, and it's
Is
like,
it the
oh
ch-ch-ch?
no.
It'll be right eventually.
Eventually. But it's
But,
like,
so
holy crap, Michael's here.
She then gets away and
pissed.
gets to the cops, right?
Gets to the cops.
Wait. So-
and she runs away.
We get
And so in the second house is like, yes, please come in. We'll help you. Which
Exactly.
is nice now.
That's
completely
so
different from the
nice.
first movie.
People are nice now.
When
which
you
I thought
scream bloody murder in this town that everybody got killed in, they open the doors now.
Well,
So,
which
which
it's
is
not even
nice.
just that one family. It's like the whole neighborhood. Like, go back to your houses. Like, there's like 5 families.
Yeah.
They're like, what's going on?
But I mean, moving forward, basically, the granddaughter ends up running to her grandma's house because they all have to be in cover now.
Yes.
Skip
You
a
skipped
little,
you skipped
a
a
little
very
bit.
important part.
The
Where-
ride to the house.
Yes.
Yeah. So I'll try to do it.
The
as quick.
doctor. So they pick him up. They pick up the granddaughter.
She's in the back seat.
She's in the back seat.
Doctor's in the
She
back.
cannot get out of the back seat.
Right, because it's a police
because it's a
car.
police car. The doctor goes. They hit Michael. They go searching
kind of-
for him. They
by
find
luck,
him.
They kind of luckily find him.
They run him over.
Hawkins is like,
Hawkins.
I'm ending this. It's done. I'm gonna hit
It's
him.
over.
The doctor's screaming, "Don't kill him."
Hits him. Doctor gets out. Goes up and checks on him. Who's the guy?
Dr.
Hawkins.
Hawkins.
Hawkins goes up and looks at him too. Double check that he's dead. Doctor checks him. He's like, "Oh, he's dead. Yeah. I don't think so." Then the doctor pulls out a scalpel and stabs Hawkins in the throat and kills him immediately. As the doctor then grabs Michael's mask off and puts it on himself.
Which I think is definitely alluded to because he asked right beforehand, what does Michael...
What does he
What does he feel when he kills somebody?
Yeah.
What's that like to be God? So the doctor is just as
Doctor's
crazy.
nuts.
Doctor-
Doctor definitely let him out of the
Oh,
bus.
yeah. 100% because he wanted to see this.
He wanted to see him in real
And
life.
somehow this doctor who has one arm because the other arm is in a hurt.
Yeah, he's
he
got
picks up
shot.
He picks up Michael and puts him in the back seat, which I'm like.
I never thought about that until just now.
He picks up Michael freaking Myers and puts him in the back seat with the mask, with the granddaughter, and she's freaking out. And so they're driving to Lori's house, which is where Lori took the rest of the family because Lori's house is a fortress,
a fortified bunker.
guns everywhere.
They were driving to her house.
Yes.
Yeah.
I was like, how did they end up so close to
Because the
their
doctor
house?
wanted to see
The doctor
Michael
wanted-
interact with Lori.
Okay, that
Lori
makes
to see
that does
him.
make sense.
So they get there, and then we meet
Then-
two buddy cops, which are also really funny.
They are.
But they
Talking
don't.
about
They don't,
sandwiches.
they don't last very long.
Yeah.
Jelly sandwich.
Yeah, obviously don't last very long.
Yeah.
So Michael wakes up and kicks this seat
kicks
all the way forward.
kicks the metal cage into the driver,
Yeah,
into the doctor, and
incredibly strong.
kills him immediately.
He gets out, chucks him to the ground. The granddaughter because Michael opened the door, so the granddaughter is now able to run away. She is running in the forest to Lori's house, and the doctor says, "Say something, say something." And I thought it'd be stupid but kind of funny if it was like an '80s action movie where Michael goes something and like
stomps his head in,
and he flattens
Annihilates
his head.
destroys this guy's head.
Um,
But then the 2 buddy cops come over and both die.
both die, and Michael carves his head like a little pumpkin.
Oh yeah,
Oh yeah, the flashlight.
he uses
in
a
the head.
flashlight like
He's
a
creative.
jack-o'-lantern.
He's creative once again with the
Oh, my
bodies in this
Lord.
movie.
Bro, they had arts and crafts in prison. You know.
Yeah.
It's like, you know how to make a jack-o'-lantern, right? You like
So-
Halloween.
Mike, what I thought was kind of funny though, because when the cop car pulls up, that body is in the front seat, in the driver's seat. So
Yeah.
Michael had to pull up, put that body in
How
the
did
front
he
seat.
do that?
And then the dad goes out, which the dad is fun, but
I
Michael
did not like the dad.
I didn't like
Michael-
the dad either. He was very cringy.
He was weird.
It made me uncomfortable.
What dad isn't?
I kind of wish they would have
Fine.
not even had a dad, and it was just like a daughter-mother kind of story, because he really wasn't needed in that. He really was not
He's
needed.
another. Yeah, for the most part, he's just another body.
Yeah. But I mean, it shows that he was trying to get Lori's daughter away from her. He was that
Trying
that
to protect her.
secondary.
The real world type of guy. Like you can't be living in this.
Yes. Yeah.
Right.
But then so
He gets choked out.
he gets choked out and dead, and
Then Lori sees
Lori
Michael again,
Lori sees Michael and this guy's dead body,
and so
and she
she's
locks
like,
everything up.
Lori, and this is where it starts to move
Quicker.
This is where it starts to
Very
move quick.
quickly.
Lori's like, get to the basement. I'm gonna take this guy on. I'm gonna end this. Lori, she's too smart to do this. She stands next to the door where she knows Michael's gonna be.
If you're
Next to the
going to
windows.
have a bunch of security on your front door, have bulletproof glass as well. Don't have glass that somebody could
Don't
punch
have
through.
glass.
or don't have glass.
But I really,
That too, but you can't see then. Have a
Right.
little peephole.
Right.
Right.
But
I
she
really-
leans up to it with this shotgun, right? And
then-
obviously Michael busts through the door and is like choking her out, and he like how awkward that is to like put your hand through this tiny little
That's
space
probably why she had so much
and
time
then
to do
lift
stuff.
her up.
Yeah.
And she, being the badass that she is, she gets the gun up, and
She
Michael's
gets her
like, basically
shotgun.
like, what is that thing? And then boom, blows 3 of his fingers off, and he's like,
Ow.
that hurt.
what I really like is all of the Michael and Lori fighting scenes. It
Mhm.
always seems like she's going to lose, you know?
Mhm.
But obviously that would be such a waste of her training, and she immediately loses.
Then he got in the house.
Yeah.
So
Mhm.
she
He gets
runs
in the house.
downstairs into the bunker and shuts the bunker,
Mhm.
and then he gets in the house. And then she takes a shot at him from under the ground.
Hits
She
him.
And
Hits
he
him.
like,
Hits him.
and you hear him like stumble around, like, where did that go?
Because he has a mask on in one eye. He doesn't.
Yeah.
He can't see things correctly.
And then the daughter shows up, right? I think
She was already there.
so-
She was already there.
Well,
I mean the granddaughter.
yes.
then Lori starts going upstairs and like hunting for
That's
him.
my-
When she
Michael.
starts clearing rooms.
And
She
she
has
incredibly smart because not only does she has
drop gates.
She scans the room and she drops gates down in each room. So either she has trapped Michael in the room, or she's already cleared it,
or she
and
knows that
she's-
he can't be in there.
Mhm.
I think
And
it's,
super tense again. Another super tense scene.
in my mind, I think she's creating a kill box kind
Mhm.
of thing where he can't hide and keep dipping into these
Definitely.
rooms. Where he runs down this hallway, there's only one way to go, and that's through her.
And she has a gun.
She has a gun, and she is also pissed.
Oh,
absolutely.
absolutely. She is.
Then there's another fight, another little
Between her and-
scuffle with Lori and Michael.
In the mannequin room.
Yeah, which
Why have a room full of mannequins?
target
Why?
practice, I guess.
Which
In a
Michael
target
is,
practice.
In a room? Huh?
Never know.
Well-
Well, that's where Michael would be, in a room.
It'd be like, why don't you put those in a storage shed?
True.
You know, they go out into the range.
Yeah.
So why not put them in a storage shed outside?
Anyways,
Can we
he's
talk
cre-
about
he-
how smart Michael is about going into that room? So
He faces all of them.
yes, but
he moves
he's
them all.
leaking blood the whole way. He's leading
Oh,
a
yeah.
trail up,
and
to
he
this
leaks
one
it
room.
into the closet.
into the closet. It's all over the mannequin. She can't tell where he's actually.
Yeah, and he's creeping behind one of those, and I jumped a little bit in the theater because like when he smacks that thing down and he just barrels right towards her, I was like, oh my god, she's done. And they have a little scuffle. She tries to stab him. He turns it on her, stabs her. I don't think it was like anywhere here. I think it was like in her leg.
I
Or
think
was
it was
in the
in her
stomach?
stomach. Because she at the end of it, she's holding that
Oh, okay.
in the car as they go away.
And she gets knocked over the ledge this time.
Yeah.
And Michael.
That was a cool
Michael
scene.
looks at her, and that's when the granddaughter shows up.
Yes.
And then Michael's like, "Who dat?"
Yeah, the granddaughter busts in the door and goes, "Mom, where you at,
Yeah.
Mom?"
And she runs down to the bunker, and Michael, "Yeah, who dat?" And he looks back. Lori's gone.
Lori's
man.
gone.
Just like the first movie where
Yep.
Michael did.
And he's like, "That's my move."
So then he goes downstairs.
And he's like, where do these girls keep disappearing to? And I'm pretty sure he heard the noise this
Yeah.
time of
What
where the thing
island
was,
moving.
and rips it off.
Oh my lord, that is so cool. He's shoving it back and forth, just whoop-ah.
And like the last the last big oomph, he's like, he like dips his head down. I'm thinking he's like, this thing is heavy. Which I think is actually really cool, where it's like, it's funny, but it doesn't take away how scary he is.
How strong.
Like, he still can,
While all of that is happening, the daughter of the main character, what's the main character? Lori, thank you so much. Lori's daughter gets back into her hunting mind.
she's like,
She's
this
like,
is all real. This is
I
happening.
have to do this.
She sees the gun with her initials on it.
Then a really cool scene happens where she's like screaming and crying for her mother, and then Michael puts his face in front of it, and she goes, "Kidding," and then shoots him. That is such a such a flip.
I love it because all three of these ladies in this movie are incredibly smart. And that's what also I really like about this. It's, basically it's the Strode girls versus Michael.
Yeah.
And I think that's the only way they win, because like you said, Lori gets in trouble a lot where she could die, but it's the other girls that kind of help her.
Yeah.
And then that same scene where Lori comes out of the shadows and like stabs him, she gets pushed. She grabs a frying pan and is bam, bam.
So
then how does he fall down?
They
So
knock
she
him
hits him
down
and he
the
falls
stairs.
down the
Yeah,
stairs.
he falls down the stairs.
and then the girls, the daughter and the granddaughter run up the stairs.
Granddaughter
He
goes first.
grabs the daughter's ankle.
Right.
As she's going up.
Granddaughter grabs the knife, stabs him like twice in the arm, and you can hear like an audible like,
Yeah.
like
That was painful.
and so he falls down again, and it's revealed in a pretty cool little twist. This isn't
a bird cage.
It's
It's
a
a
trap.
trap.
It's a trap for Michael. So these bars, these like metal bars slide. So he's stuck down there. But it gives me another creepy shot where he's just like looking straight up at them, like,
No emotion.
I'm gonna get you. No, I'm gonna get you. I'm right here now, but I'm gonna get you.
As they turn on the gas and the
He
flyer,
doesn't care. He does not
and the
care.
house starts burning down.
Not talking about the giant explosions from all the gas that's down there too. Just
Right.
he's still standing.
Does
there.
not care.
Doesn't move.
Lori was prepared. Totally.
yeah.
She was
She
ready
had gas
for him to
leaks.
be there.
She was ready to blow her house up.
40
to
years. She was thought of just about everything.
Everything.
Just imagine like the wrong spark in those 40
Oh
years.
no! Just a minor gas leak.
Yeah, 'cause
Again, it was
how
all
much
gas
ga-
leak.
Like how
All
much
of it was-
gas
it
did
was
she
actually
have around the room? Anyway, so
Lots of open pipes.
the house is
The house
burning
is
down.
burning down,
The
and
final
they-
couple of shots, it cuts back. It cuts to the girls, walking out, getting in a car, and getting away.
I mean, they're the only ones left now, right?
Then
Because
Hopkins
Hopkins
of
dead.
the original crew for the most part, I think. Yeah. But then the very final shot is back to the burning bunker, and Michael is nowhere to be found.
Where did he go?
And then done.
That's it. That's the end
and
of
then
the
I'm like,
He goes,
again. There's another. Nope.
But we know that
Still the wrong
Michael.
one?
Oh no,
That was the
that's
right one.
You
That
got it.
At the time of this recording, we know.
Well, but we know that Michael is alive because
Right, they got 2 more movies coming.
the
The
trailer
set.
shows that he is
It
standing
is-
on the porch of the burning
It
house.
is 9/28/2021. So the sequel is coming out. I think it's pretty soon in Halloween.
2021 sometime, probably on Halloween.
I could look it up.
Okay.
But and then there's a movie after that. So we know the story
Continues.
They have more to tell, which is good, because I think this
Everybody likes more.
because this one, I don't even really have to say why. This was easily for me, like, as far as horror movies go, like, this is 8 out of 10, 8.5, almost 9.
The release
Oh my
date
goodness.
of the next movie, which is Halloween Kills, is October 15th.
This year?
This year.
Nice.
That's
It's a couple
That's
weeks.
that's like soon.
Yep, definitely got to watch
Okay,
it.
Caffrey, what do you think? What do you rate it?
Oh, what Dev said?
So I said like 8,
8,
8.5.
9,
Okay.
9.5.
I was saying, I think 8. 8's a good number because 9 and 10 you have to be really really good, and like I liked it a lot, so it's 8.
That's what I'm saying. As far as like, because I'm judging it as a horror movie. Like, out of all the movies, like all the genres, like if you judge it with all the genres in mind, it's probably like a 6 or a 7. But like
Right.
as far as horror movies go, like this is a darn good horror movie.
Plus, like I said before, I'm a Halloween fan. Like after rewatching the first one again, I was pretty disappointed.
And to
This
see
made me happy.
and to see Michael scary again after all these
Yes.
lackluster sequels,
When Michael's
it's very
scary, it's
good.
good.
Like-
So I'd give it an 8 because it's very action filled.
Mhm.
Lots of action, lots of scary parts. I'm a big fan of jump scares. If it can get me, it's a good movie.
It got you. What got you in the movie? I forgot.
I think it was a jump cut. It wasn't even a scare, I don't think.
Yeah, no, it was
It
just
was
a-
her slamming a book and then they changed scenes. Like,
Yeah.
come on.
I think I would rate it a 9. I really enjoyed it, and I kind of like serial killer shows, movies. But I also love Jamie Lee Curtis. I mean, any movies that she's in, like Freaky Friday, hilarious. She's great. And her being a total badass in this movie is awesome. I love that.
No, from the very beginning, I don't think there was a wasted shot. I think everything and anything, even parts like at the gas station where you think nothing's happening, there's something going
There's
on.
something going on in the background.
So it's every shot is good. The music's good. The town, the setting is great. I can't honestly think of, for the most part, many complaints, and even when I do, for the most part, it's really nitpicks. And making a movie is hard, so I can
Absolutely,
forgive
Yeah,
it.
kudos. Well, if you have any questions, concerns, or suggestions for some of our next podcasts, you can go ahead and email us at silverscreenpod@gmail.com. Again, that's for any questions or suggestions or any opinions you might have.
And we're still looking for any like month ideas. So if you want to hear this kind of movie during this month,
Yeah.
like maybe March is the Leprechaun movies or something.
Or like, June, springtime, maybe Jaws or something like that.
Right.
So if you just have any,
Shark Week.
Ooh,
That'd be
Shark
Ooh,
Week.
Shark Week.
There it is.
if you have any ideas or anything, just email us at the silverscreenpod@gmail.com and we will see what we can do.
See you guys next time. Thanks for listening.